Hey man, you need to hear this. If you're looking for fast, cheap, and reliable MUT coins, I highly recommend to check out my sponsor, DMC, Discount MUT Coins, and use code 187 for 10% off at checkout.
We're going to find it out real quick.
Yeah, and they're a little gentleman's agreement here in Arizona where they're giving them a little extra time to set up. They won't take the flag, won't force your buddy to burn his timeout. So it's a nice little way to welcome Surgeon into the competition.
I think that'll be the only sportsmanship that we see right now. After this, I think it's every man for himself.
Yeah, I'm expecting some big-time emotion from these players today before we get into the game. Last year, we actually saw Denver players walk through this. So I've got my eye out looking for maybe a George Kittle sighting as the Niners roll and maybe a Jimmy G sighting.
Hey, it's Halloween. Anything can happen tonight. We got Bo Jackson up the middle, established a run, pick up a few yards.
Okay, so here we go. Next up, we've got to figure out who's on offense, who's on defense. That's going to be the most important thing for us to figure out, and it's going to be pretty easy because we know a little bit about the rosters, which we will dive in and tell you about what is happening here. You see the strong H wing on offense, and you see Troy Polamalu on defense. Tom Brady for Surgeon means Surgeon is on offense in the white uniforms with Tdavis using Troy Polamalu.
I saw this back in the back when he was warming up. We're going to see a heavy dose of Bo Jackson. He's going to run in between the tackles. As soon as you stack that box in, he's going to run that stretch play. I expect to see that here coming up.
So for the keys to the game for Tdavis, he has to limit big plays. He almost just gave up a big play. That was very, very close for Bo to slip in through and kind of breaking that, but he ended up getting corralled. And that's the thing about Bo Jackson that makes him so tough to stop is you think you have him bottled up, but they talked about it, kind of like you might miss a tackle or a tackler might fall over or two guys get faked out, and all of a sudden a game that's like kind of a muddy 4-yard game can turn into a really long game.
And also, it's no secret with Surgeon being a former football player and a D tackle, he's going to rely on the run game because that's what he's accustomed to. So I expect to see, again, a heavy dose of Bo Jackson.
And you're seeing it right there. You saw, if you look underneath the players, so Tdavis is user controlling Troy Polamalu. If you want to improve your game and get better at Madden, you've got to drop back off that D line. You got to control either a linebacker or a deep safety. You see he's packing the box here, getting the run fit set up. Troy Polamalu, his star will flash underneath him. That means he has secure tackler. So you see the three players with stars underneath. That means they have those abilities. That means they are secure tacklers and will wrap up consistently.
Hey, if you look at what he's doing right now, he is controlling the tempo of the game. He's milking his clock, moving the chains. The game is in his control right now, and that's what he needs to do to keep it away from the former champ.
Tdavis, one of the most calm players there is, one of the best game managers there is. But
stuffed him
Surgeon,
behind the line. Nice.
big stop on 3rd and inches. That is huge. And now we've got our first critical moment here, 4th and 2, Ben. You going or you kicking?
I'm relying on Bo Jackson. He got me to this point, so I'm gonna ride his coattail.
So a big shoot between the gap.
Play. I'm looking for the stretch play.
Here we go. 4th and 2 for SurgeonTheGod to start. He's going to pass for the first time today.
Got an angle route out the backfield. Excellent play call.
Use check.
Goes against what he normally does, which is key. You got to break tendencies.
7 yards, Tom Brady. It's not a fully ultimate version of Brady here, but it is powered up to a decent amount where he feels like he can make any throw he needs. I think the throw power is about 82, so it's just enough for what he likes to do. He does not have ooh, and Bo Jackson there, slippery off to the right side.
I'm telling you, he's going to have to do something in the box to kind of disrupt that because Bo is about one step away from breaking this thing long.
6 carries, 30 yards for SurgeonTheGod here. We're live in Glendale at the Madden 20 Club Championship for the Arizona Cardinals. One player will represent all 32 NFL teams. One player per team going after that prize. Who of these 4 players today will represent the Cardinals is what we're finding out right now. K-Mac and Volterax coming up next.
I'm looking for the stretch play coming up.
You see Jadeveon Clowney.
Like clockwork, but he cut it back in. Very good read on his part. Very good read. He was going to the stretch, saw a gap in between the B gap, went ahead and took it.
Nice cut back from Surgeon, who's taken possession first, and he's really held on to it. Had one big 4th down conversion so far. Playing relaxed, both players. looking nice and calm. Sometimes you get to a live environment, you can see some nerves, but it doesn't seem like either player is suffering any nerves right now.
This is the remedy to beat the former champ, or last year's reigning champ. This is the remedy that he needs to stick with. Switching the strength of the formation right now, looking for that stretch play. His defense is wide out, so I expect a lane.
Looks like the tight end Lee Smith, known for his blocking prowess on the left side there.
That man-to-man. Had one extra guy.
Clowney's able to wrap up.
Yep,
so
one accounted for. And that's a sure tackler right there, Jadeveon Clowney.
Sure sacker. Sure gets some interceptions sometimes.
Sure everything.
He's somebody that you definitely want to go with here. And it's Blair Witch on Halloween. Halloween here. We got the Cardinals. We've got the Niners tonight.
Oh, huge gaping hole. And this is what we were talking about. You get both going. Right now, the game is definitely in his control right now.
But limit big plays. He does end up being able to make the tackle. Keeps him in the red zone. And Ben, these players are great. But what really matters is, can you score 7 in the red zone? We know that's a point for K-Mac, but for all players, it really does matter. So right now, the field's going to start to get tight.
Good thing about this, though, our reigning champ was in this situation last year, and he performed beautifully, and I expect the same thing right now. He's not going to panic. As you can see, he's pretty even-keeled. He's not worried. That's what a champion does.
Yes, and that is what he's known to do consistently over his career, is control the football game. Troy Polamalu here.
He got that stretch play. Had that one snuffed out. See how he widened out his defense. He's trying to take away those lanes, keep Polamalu free in the middle of the field so that he can fill those inside gaps.
It's working for him so far. And that's what's good, is you're willing to give up the run until you're not, right? You're willing to kind of contain it, take what's there until you decide to shoot a gap on third.
It's the classic bend but don't break for defense. Wow. And that's what Polamalu does. And I can tell you that firsthand because he was an absolute nightmare for us in the Super Bowl. He was a short tackler just like that.
Secure tackler right there. Click off. Polamalu gets to the outside, corrals it in. We have our biggest conversion of the game right here so far. 3rd and 12. It's not a run-first situation you would think, so let's see. He stays in that run set, though, on 3rd and 12.
Got to assume there's going to be some form of a play action right here. Oh, pressure off the... He knew it was coming. And I think you're going to have to vary your formation when you get into a 3rd and 12. You can't stay tight like that. You're going to have to spread out.
So he's going to elect for the field goal here on 4th and 13. The kick is up and through. A solid opening drive for SurgeonTheGod, but it does end in 3.
Hey, 3 is a win. 3 is a win right now. And again, this is the defending champ that we're talking about. So this is definitely a win for him. He'll get his chance to have the ball and see what he can do with it.
On that 3rd and 12, he did call play action. He canceled the play action, but the pressure was there. There was an out to the right side, which may have been open, but the heat was just too great.
Nice and safe, plain and safe, nothing wrong with that.
Tdavis takes over. He's got 3 minutes, 37 seconds, which in Madden is an eternity, even with a run-first style of the game right now. But he's looking to get a drive going. He also is going to get ball at half, which is pretty crucial.
Absolutely. I would milk this clock down as much as possible, try to score at the very end, and start off fresh, second half.
Got some stats coming up here for you about the club championship. We've got some stories to tell you about Ben. Ben has something in common, Ben here, with Kyler Murray. And
Really?
It's not that you guys both played for the Cardinals.
Okay.
You've also got something in common with Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a Halloween nickname, like people on Twitter when they change their names. So we're going to do that. And we're just going to keep talking, playing Madden, having fun out there.
Sounds good to me.
Got an awesome venue here, live from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, so we'll be willing to tell you that. We appreciate you guys watching in the chat with us right now over on twitch.tv/EA Madden NFL. Go tell a friend that you're live watching the club championship. First of 32 of these style of events, so lots to go, but I mean, with Tdavis being able to make noise like he did last season, this is a big one. K-Mac really wants that opportunity too. I mean, it's been eluding him, but just barely. He's been on the brink of it.
The big question for me, is he going to see ghosts from last year? I know it's Halloween, but literally, is he going to see ghosts from last year? Because he was very, very close, wasn't able to close it out in the end. So is that going to have a lingering effect on him?
Bo Jackson here for Tdavis, gets it working up the middle. Good defense from Surgeon so far. And, I mean, tell you what, for a guy who has competed in a lot of events, Surgeon, but never quite made it to the big stage. Right now, he's making a lot of this early opportunity.
I told you he's got nothing to lose. He's going against a champ right now. It's not going to get any harder than this right now. And he came out with a good opening drive, knows that he can do it. Oh, very good play call.
Yeah, and you talked about this, the edges of the field, being able to reach out and get the ball out very quick to a Deshaun Jackson. How's that working out?
Well, if you look at the formation, he was in a tight formation, had a single receiver. I think he may have forgotten who was out there.
So Bo Jackson for Tdavis. You'll notice Fletcher Cox is the only defender for Surgeon
This ball's
with
going to
that
the left.
X-factor ability.
This ball's going to the left. I see a gap.
Looks like he's
Switching it back.
resetting his play.
Yep. It's not man-to-man.
Smith on his way over. Another version of a great blocking tight end here.
Ooh, see that gap? It was close. And that's the name of the game in football. Those gaps open and close just like that.
And that's a piece with Madden is you have updates throughout the season, right? So you have title updates that frequently change kind of the meta of the game or how much a specific ability works. They'll also fluctuate the cap price of some of the players as they build their lineups. Then you have new players that come into the game each week. So, you know, people were using, we're very fortunate to have Master be Pat Tillman this season. And Troy Polamalu then enters the game. Some people change, some people keep their lineups. They're always adapting, always adjusting, and that is what makes these club championships great. You see so many unique things.
Yeah, Bo up the middle, and there it is. There it is. We talked about the gaps. You're not going to catch Bo Jackson from behind.
Darius Slay, Troy Apke cannot chase Bo Jackson down, and Tdavis makes quick work of a drive here, commits to the ground game, goes up 6-3 right now. Look at this replay. Look at this hole, Ben.
Look at this gap. I would love to run through that. Like I said, that's Bo Jackson. You're not going to catch him from behind. He's the greatest athlete to ever walk this planet.
Too fast. You've also got something in common with Bo Jackson that we'll talk about. So it's gonna be a good show today.
Now, the Surgeons feel the pressure now that the champ has gone up a touchdown over. Or does he stick with his game plan?
So I think if you're Surgeon right now, you hate giving up a long run, but you're okay with it because you're like, I was prepared to stop this. It didn't surprise you. It's not like he came out and ran 5 wide and you're like, oh man, I don't know what he's doing. You know what he's doing. You've just got to commit and do a little bit better. But you're in a very tricky situation because he gets ball at half and you've got a minute 52 with a ground heavy offense. You got to make waves.
Oof.
These defenders are locking up for Tdavis right now. He invested in the cap. That's the difference. 3 secure tacklers for Tdavis on defense versus only the 1 secure tackler there.
You may
or the one Fletcher Cox.
You may get your sighting here. You talked about him earlier. You may get your sighting here right now.
That's what I was pretty distracted. You have
looking for Mr. Kittle?
Yes, looking for George Kittle. It was National Tight End Day last week.
That's right. It absolutely was.
He's a big Halloween guy, I feel like. I feel like he would love Halloween.
I feel like he's a prankster. He might come out as a joker.
Now, do you, as a tight end, are you like cool with George Kittle just because like it's like a alumni?
15,000%. Absolutely.
Yeah?
He's a tight end. I'm a tight end. We're in this thing together.
So sack makes it 4th and 14. Tdavis coming through.
Here's where it gets dangerous now. He's going to get the ball back with some time. If he can put points on the board and get the ball coming out in the second half, that doesn't bode well for Surgeon.
Got to be 10-3 at the half at
He's got
max.
a punt return set. He's got some room. Oh, out to the right.
Deion Sanders on the return. Unable to make big headway, but does get the ball all the way out to the 40. We've shown Tdavis, he has shown that he has the ability to pass. So, Ben, another big thing with this is, you know, they have the salary cap, so they kind of build that lineup towards 1, maybe 2 personnel types, whereas Tdavis is a little more, he's got a little bit more receivers, a little bit more he can do with his formations to get to be a little more variable in his offense.
I think that's what makes him so difficult to beat is because he's not single-dimensional. He's multifaceted. And it's hard to prepare for.
Do you follow Adam Schefter on Twitter?
I do.
He's pretty solid with his news, right?
He is pretty solid with his news. The Lambo leap, though, not so sure about that one.
No.
Not so sure about that one.
I tell you what, I don't know if Adam Schefter tweeted out that Jimmy Garoppolo is here in Glendale, but I can confirm that he is here because he just walked by.
Mr. Garoppolo just walked by?
Yes.
And you didn't tell me?
No, there was a big sack on the play, so I didn't want to be distracted. But he's in the building. Schefter can report that, maybe retweet me for once, because I like to retweet him. It's cool.
Okay, all right.
7-3 Tdavis with the ball.
Got the stretch play.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
The spin move carries him back inside, picks up some yards, but he does use his last timeout.
Does use a timeout. Look for him to possibly throw the ball downfield.
3rd and 6.
Maybe he can squeak out a field goal here.
3 points will be big for Tdavis, give him the full 7-point lead, plus the ball at half, and then he is going to hit SurgeonTheGod with a taste of his own medicine, which
absolutely. It's going to be a heavy dose of Bo Jackson.
Milk and cookies, slowing it down.
All day long.
T-shirt cannon rolling out. That's exciting.
You ever used one of those before?
They're not allowed. I've tried. I do have great hands, though, and I've caught over 7 T-shirts.
Oh, we got the seam route. We had a dig with a seam right behind that. Excellent play call.
Nice route from Bo. He does go hurry up. However, it runs 7 seconds off the clock, and he goes straight to a handoff. Cannot get out of bounds. We're now down to 18 seconds here for Tdavis. Goes down to 8 seconds and snaps the ball. Finally, with 7 seconds at the 43-yard line. He's checking his distance. He knows exactly how far his kicker can kick. He knows exactly how much cap he spent on it.
Look for a quick out here. Look for a quick out, something to the sideline where he can get out of bounds and get into a manageable field goal situation. It'd be ideal if he can get points and get the ball back in the second half.
This is a critical play. This is where Tdavis is one of the best, managing the game, the clock, the situation. Maybe, I don't want to call that a slight mismanagement, but I'm sure he would like to have a little bit more. But all he needs is one route, one dot, one play to the sideline, and he could be in business here.
Right now we got a corner bracketed outside. Still going to look for something towards the sideline.
His Phil Rivers does have extra hot routes as well.
Oh, my goodness.
Great swat. That's a great swat by Surgeon. Keep him just out of the sideline catch. Now Tdavis will have one play to the end zone. This is where, do you get a Hail Mary? I think he just could run the ball.
Why not? Bo still got home run ability from this point. He showed us that already, so the champ will manage this right.
So we got quarters 3 deep here, and we have it against I-form style set. May the best man win.
Got a lot of space for Bo. Got a lot of space.
Okay.
But that's a win. That's a win for Surge. Is going down 7-3. That's a win. Definitely not giving up any more points.
Great defense there for Surgeon to stop before the half. Not a mistake for Tdavis, but definitely you would expect him to get 3 there with having the 3 timeouts. But that's okay. He does go ahead and get the ball at half, so he is able to at least maintain the possession and keep it going. Are you surprised with anything we saw in that first half? Were you impressed by Surgeon, or do you think Tdavis is really in control right now?
I think Tdavis is in control. If you look at his demeanor, this is just how he was last year on his way to a championship. He's well in control of this right now. I think he'll come out in the second half and put it away.
All right, it's going to be a huge drive here to start the second half. Tdavis is going to get that rock. Phil Rivers out, his quarterback with the extra hot rice. He's got Marvin Harrison. He has Deshaun Jackson available as well. Still with the Bo Jackson, who you will see plenty
receiver that's
of
not
today.
covered right now. Got a corner playing way off. Heavy dose of Bo. If you're going to get 9-10 yards a clip, I'm going to give it to him all day.
Yeah, and Ben, there's this thing called Mutt 10, so it's celebrating the 10 best players that have been in Madden Ultimate Team, or kind of the fan favorites. So that's where you've seen some awesome players like these Bo Jacksons, Michael Vick. You have Troy Polamalu as part of that program, Gronk, Joe Thomas, so Deion Sanders. So there's some really good Mutt 10 items, and those are consisting of a lot of the lineups that we're seeing out here today in this salary cap format of Madden Ultimate Team.
Still, pick up a 4 or 5 right there with Bo.
He's got 103, so he had the one huge run, but both players averaging maybe around 5-6 yards a carry, but except for the one big play, it's been pretty solid run defense so far.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
this event.
Absolutely. It's been pretty equal at this point. Right now, I think it's going to boil down to who makes the first mistake.
Tdavis not known to make
look
mistakes.
At this huge gap.
Wow.
Poor defensive call right there. Surprising for a defensive lineman of his stature. Can't have lanes that big for Bo.
And he's really starting to hit and attack every part of the line of scrimmage. So he's ran stretch, he's ran dive on the other side of the ball, but Tdavis is now starting to attack left, right, motion, flip.
You don't know where he's going. You don't know where he's going. Is he going C gap? Is he going B gap? Is he going stretch? He's shown us that he's got the ability to throw it to the outside. Like I said, I think he's in control right now.
I do know where he's going.
Where?
Wherever's open. You know, it's like, who's Tom Brady's favorite receiver?
The guy that's open.
The open one. That's what they say. He's going to the open gap, but you never know how he's going to get there. Exactly the blocking scheme he's going to have going up. if he's going to motion somebody, and it changes at the last second, and then he's able to kind of use the left stick ability that you have this year with the runner to make cuts.
One thing I noticed about Bo, that first tackle has no chance. He's going to run through that first tackle. Right now, if you're going to get 5 or 6 yards a clip, I say you give it to him all day.
And that's why it's going to be interesting in our next game. Remember, we have Volterax, your Madden 18 club champion from the Cardinals, taking on K-Mac. Volterax's defense is so stacked that I would be surprised if a few of his his defenders don't wrap that ball carrier up at the first time. But that will be coming up after this one as Tdavis.
He's about to come out of there. He's coming out of there. And I tell you what, this is big trouble for Surgeon right now, and he knows it. When you see him shaking his head, he knows that he is in deep trouble right now.
And they're both shaking their head right there. Tdavis will take that touchdown. It's not as clean, but that is what Bo Jackson brings to the table, and that is a little bit of what we talked about, kind of getting bottled up, but not being able to get your hands on Bo Jackson as he's able to stay up and break it for a big-time run. A 6-play, 72-yard drive, 8 of about 2.5 minutes. And look at it right here, Ben. Diagnose this.
We got just a halfback dive right up the middle, and Bo being Bo. He broke many tackles, and once he gets into the open field, that's it. The big thing that I'm looking for now is how is Surge going to react. He's in a very bad situation right now. You're going against the champ, and he's very comfortable right now. What's plan B? You're going to have to score in a hurry, and you're going to have to score in bunches right now.
He's thrown 2 passes, one sack, and 1 conversion on a pass play, and then he was sacked another time. So
staying true to his formation right now.
He can commit. He still does have time, and he has timeouts, but he's got to consider being quick but not hurrying.
And he cannot make a mistake.
See Mercedes Lewis head over to the left side here, making some adjustments.
Think he's going to stick with the run?
Yes, I believe he will stick with it just enough to see what he can do. He's hoping for one of those. And he's able, so Lawrence Taylor did get his hand on there, but he doesn't have secure tackler activated. Surgeon has no secure tacklers on defense, just has the Fletcher Cox in the middle. So broken tackle, guys not getting their hands on it. That can be the difference in something like this. Right there, it's a little bit scary. Yeah, Bo Jackson running straight at Polamalu. It's kind of the only thing, but it almost slowed him up just enough to let somebody else come in and make the hit. 1:50 to go here in the third quarter of the first round of the Madden 20 Club Championship.
Got that stretch play. You got Bo in the open field. But if you look at the way that he played that, he didn't go up to try to make the tackle right away. He played off. He used the boundary as another defender. Make sure he got a surefire tackle. That's the way a champion plays.
Keys to the game.
Mm-hmm.
When you know your key to the game is to limit big plays, you just gave up an extra 20 yards on a run. But it doesn't matter because of the clock situation, because of how he can beat you. You're more than happy to give up those yards and have nothing and not give up that big play. And that's what makes Tdavis great, is he executes the game plan he sets out to do.
The big X factor here, I'm going to say, is going to be experience. You're going against the champ. Again, you see the way that he played that. Polamalu's not coming up right away like he normally would. He's kind of sitting back to make sure that he's not going to give up the long one. Giving up 15 or 20 yards doesn't matter if you're not giving up points.
I know we have Madden players watching in the chat right now, and every time Bo breaks it out to that second level, and it's like, it's just you breathe in a little bit deep. But Tdavis has recovered that breath every time and been able to keep things from going big.
That's why he's the reigning champ. That's exactly why he's the reigning champ. He's well-rounded on offense and defense.
Couple players coming up next.
He's got to start looking at this clock, though. The clock is definitely going to be his enemy, especially if he has to start burning timeouts.
Yes, he is approaching field goal range, which would make it an 8-point game, but he's got to get 7 right here. We talked about it. If you don't score 7, every time you kick 3, you're 4 points closer to going home.
And again, it sounds like a broken record, but you're going against the reigning champ, and he's definitely going to counter whatever you do.
Tdavis hailing from Boston, Massachusetts. Graduated school in May. He's grinding out Madden right now as his job, and he is putting in work in this first round.
Tell you what, he's going to have to speed up the game now. You talked about earlier that he doesn't need to rush. Well, he's going to have to rush now.
5-minute quarters, but the play clock is 40 seconds. So it has previously been 30 seconds. So now with it being 40 seconds, there's more time if Tdavis to get the ball back, and he can actually run off a little bit. So it's something that Surgeon can consider. as he wants to save those timeouts. It's tough, though, when you don't have the personnel, when you don't have the variability in your salary cap lineup because you invested in other places. It's tough.
That's why Tdavis is so good, because he varies. He can beat you running the ball, he can beat you throwing the ball, and he can beat you playing defense. Right now, I don't know if Surge has a plan B right now. I think Bo is his only plan.
And it was a great plan in the first half, but you get bogged down in the red zone, then all of a sudden you take a sack, and then you're behind. So giving up those 2 big runs was crucial.
And it all starts with you getting 3 points. That's good, but like you said, you need touchdowns, because now this thing turns into a track meet, and that's not what you want to do against a champ.
And this is where the Volterax game will be interesting later, folks, because he's known to run the football, but K-Mac's known to throw it around the yard. So if that turns into a track meet, who knows what could happen.
Did we verify his record?
We did, and it is not a typo.
Wow.
We'll tell you exactly what it is before the start of the next game. We have teasers, we have spoilers. It's Halloween.
Unbelievable.
What's your favorite kind of candy?
Oh, Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
Ah, Kit Kat.
Do you eat it, you bite into it, or do you break them off?
Oh, I
Have
gotta
you
break
seen the
them
people
off.
that bite into it, though?
I gotta take my time, break them off one by one. Don't rush a good thing. How about yourself?
Snickers. Snickers, It's excellent.
Why wait?
Why wait? You should see me hangry. Not ideal. 3rd and 6. Will he keep it on the ground? No, he passes. He's hit this before out of the backfield. He does again to use check.
Game with the angle route.
Tdavis was ready for that.
Absolutely.
He was standing right behind that football. Couldn't quite get down quick enough, but was able
But as long as he keeps the defender in front of him and the clock is rolling, it's a win for him.
3
the champ
minutes
is
to
definitely,
go.
yeah, he's in control right now. Got Bo up the middle.
Ooh.
Palomalu.
This can't get interesting, though. If Surgeon scores here, he's still got 2 minutes to go, 3 timeouts, and then Tdavis will have to run the clock out, a little 4-minute offense.
You forget who he's playing. This is the reigning champ. I know that he is mentally prepared for that if it comes to that, so have all the confidence in the world that he'll make the adjustment.
Bo goes up the middle. Palomalu was blocked, but he gets bottled up. 23 for 104, about 4 yards a pop, but lacking those big runs where Tdavis had that one. He had one untouched run, and then he had one fortunate run. Has been the difference so far in this one.
And the thing about the reigning champ is he hadn't made any mistakes. He hadn't made any mistakes. He had a little clock management issue maybe before the half, but other than that, he's been pretty sound.
Trying to move on to the final later today here, live from Glendale. Thursday Night Football coming up after this one. The Niners undefeated in the house. We've confirmed. We've seen them with our own eyes. Taking on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals tonight as we crown our Madden 20 club champion from Arizona here today on Halloween.
Tell you what, this clock is going to be a problem if we're down to 2 minutes.
It's below the 2-minute warning. You don't get that stoppage. He's trying to save those timeouts. He's in at the 4-yard line, but it is now 4th and goal.
I don't think there's enough time to dethrone the champ on this one. Spreading out his defense, trying to take away these run lanes, keep Palomalu free.
Tom Brady in the backfield here for Surgeon.
He's eating up too much clock right now, especially to not score.
You see on downs where he's more aggressive, he has everything bottled up, and he gets way more in the zone when he tries to actually go for the tackle for loss.
Absolutely.
Okay, critical 4th down. He's taken the 3 to make it a 1-possession game. It'll be 14-6. Here as Pat Pete can't get off the edge to block that one.
Now, do you agree with that? Do you agree with going with a field goal with this much time left against the reigning champ?
You have to. You have to, because you have to make it a game. I mean, you did travel all the way to Arizona, I guess, but it's your best option.
I'm going with River Ron on this one. I'm going River Ron, and I would have went for it and tried to go for the touchdown because I think that would have been his best chance to maybe dethrone the champ. But right now, I think the champ's just going to run this ball out. All he needs is 1 first down, and this game's over.
Short kick here to Samuels. I bet he'll, let's see.
Go out of bounds. Nice and safe. Don't want to risk a turnover.
Smart move from Tdavis, and now it is SurgeonTheGod on defense. Tdavis going to look at those adjustments. Maybe he wants to set his coach adjustments a little bit.
I saw something I didn't like right there. He shook his head a little bit. That sounds like a little bit of deceit has crept into his mind. Hopefully he's not conceding defeat already.
For Surgeon.
Yes.
Not yet. He's got 3 timeouts. No one expects him to win. Nobody believes in Surgeon. Somebody go remind him. He's got to step up right here, hold the door on this. Cannot give up a first down, or it is game. He's got to stop Bo Jackson.
He's down about 7 or 8 yards, stacking the box. The best Bo.
And there you get that tackle.
That's a start. That's a start. He's going to use his first timeout. He's got 57 seconds left.
He's trying to take his time out. He's on PlayStation. He's using a PlayStation controller. So a little bit of an adapter you got to use.
Gotcha.
Maybe he's going to use the share button, take a screenshot. Who knows?
Gotcha.
But he'll make sure that